First of all, do you think people look at you as an asshole?
Maybe, I don't give a shit. But
No, you know.
I mean, the people I'm close to, I think there's two sides to this. It's like the people I'm close to I treat well and I keep my word and I care for them, and then the public, I mean, I rather people have a reaction one way or the other. I mean, I think, also people don't, like men are meant to have sex with women. If you tell it like graphically and straightforward, a lot of people are going to be like, but when the message settles in, most people are like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So, and I like to, agent provocateur, I like to
Yeah,
get people riled up a little, so sometimes it's fun to say crazy shit.
it is.
So
It's fun. Because you were at the Dr. Phil show, how was the reaction after that? Because I saw clips from it. I didn't see the whole thing, but what was his frame? What was his?
I think
thing?
it's a business, so they want ratings, and I came on there being this outrageous guy, and they paid. I mean, they flew a film crew out to New York and mic'd me up. We had a lot of fun that day, and then they flew me out and put me up in a 5-star hotel in Hollywood and had me on the set, and so they put a lot of money to have. It's a commercial production, so they have to have high ratings of controversial people. Mm-hmm. So I played that role, and he and I were sitting together, and the cameras broke for a commercial, and I was like, so what's the deal? You're like taking it, because I've seen his other stuff, and he's kind of a dick, and I said, when are you gonna lay into me? When's the other shoe gonna drop? He's like, yeah, don't worry, you're doing a good job. In other words, I'm getting the audience riled up, and it's really like, oh my god, this fucker. So that's what they want, because then people watch it. It was a very highly rated show, so I think they were happy from a business standpoint.
And you said that girls are calling you up after the show.
Yeah, that and the Today Show and the other ones and Tyra Banks and all this. Yeah,
You were to Tyra Banks as well?
They would Facebook me and said all kinds of girls, models. If you're basically they're like, wow, you're this international stud, and I want to see what it's like to fuck you. So I said, all right, come around, I'll show you what it's like. And then virgins too. Girls would come in and who very cute girls that for some reason were virgins at 19, 20 and stuff. And they said,
really?
They said, I want to lose it to you. I want a professional to take it away. So I said, okay. So, I mean, what the fuck? You would do that.
Alright.
Old as shit.
Actually use the word professional? Or?
What?
Did actually use the word professional?
Yeah, one girl did, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice job.
So, that was fun.
But, at this conference you talked about role and roles of being a man, kind of. Or you need to know your role. Why is that important?
Well, I think the biggest problem guys suffer from is indecision. They don't know what to do next. If they're alone with a girl, they hesitate before they kiss her or whatever. If you know what your role is, it's very clear. Like your role and your goal are interlinked. So if your role is to be the man in her life, to make love to her, and also if you want to provide for her and all this other stuff, but you're the sexual option in her life. If you know that and own it, then you can move the interaction forward pretty quickly and pretty decisively. So it gets rid of all this bullshit. And guys, indecision's not a small thing. Guys spend months and years in indecision. Do I marry her? Do I go for the kiss? Do I fuck her? And in business too, do I do the deal? Do we try to grow from 1 million to 10 million revenue? So it's not just about sex. It's about knowing your role in any interaction.
Yeah.
And that idea has helped me. This could be a Tony Robbins talk where I could get up there with a mic and be like, it's your role, motherfucker. Do you know that? That's why you're stuck in this place in your life. It's your role. Who are you? And we could do that whole kind of thing that is about women.
Yeah, exactly. You talked about, because now you correct me if I'm wrong, but you're in a kind of shift in your life. And, you have
into a relationship, you mean?
Yeah, and you also said that you said some graphical stuff about fucking corpses.
Yeah. Not literal corpses. Although, isn't that necrolepsy or necro? Yeah. What is it called? Necrophiliac. That's kind of interesting. I'd love to talk to a guy who's into that. It's kind of interesting. The body's cold and the pussy doesn't open up. I don't know how that... No, what I'm saying it's a very graphic way to get attention by saying that. But basically, a guy who's fucking a lot of women without any connection, there's a weird phenomenon can set in when you're on top of a girl and you're thrusting. It feels good, but it's like it's empty, and then you have the next girl number 2 and girl number 3, and I knew that. I mean, I'm a human being. I knew this isn't healthy.
No.
But on the other hand, it's exciting in the beginning to get girls naked. So there's a tension, and any big players probably felt that.
Do you think that's a common problem in the community?
Well, the community's full of guys who actually don't fuck a lot of girls, so probably not. But among real hustlers, I think it's a problem. Yeah. I mean, on a smaller degree, I think that's why guys settle down and want a real connection with. There's always, for me even still, there's always there's always a tension between, girls want to connect. Every girl, basically what she wants is she wants to get closer to the guy, to feel close. Women are very holistic. They're amazing. They want to get closer. And for a guy, that's hard. On the one hand, he wants to get close, but for me, I always think, like, it feels good, but then what's at the end of that? Like, what does it mean to get deep with a girl? Like, sometimes, and then the other side of that is, like, it's fun to be very superficial, and girls are hot to touch them and fuck them. And so the idea is, like, getting really deep with one girl or the fun of, like, having many. And I don't think it's a disease or a pathology, like, that guys are fucked up. I think men are built that way. We want to spread the seed.
Yeah, definitely. You talked about, and also into that you talked about, screening the girl that you want to be with. I mean, it's important, but how do you do it?
Well, I think it gets back to roles. You have to know where you are in your life and what you want. If you just want a crazy girlfriend who likes threesomes and is bisexual, or you want a woman that you can trust, that's faithful and sweet, and, like, mentally healthy, to raise kids. Because, I mean, even a crazy fucking rock star dude, I think when he finally has kids, he doesn't want the mother to be a lunatic. He wants, like, she's the one who, like, the little ducks come out, and she's the big duck where they keep going. They want a good duck so that the kids grow up, like, normal and not, like, fucked up. So I think
you said something about testing if how a girl reacts, and you said something about how...
Yeah, testing for character. I mean, there's many ways, and there's probably books out there on that. Some simple stuff is, how does she handle disappointment or the word no?
Yeah.
That's not actually my idea, although I've seen it in practice, but Dr. Paul, I have to credit him.
Okay.
He talks about that. He says boundaries, one way to test them is to see how women respond to no. If they throw a tantrum or they can absorb it and say, okay, that's reasonable, I don't get what I want this time. But also for me personally, I've found that how a woman honors her word, that tends to be a male trait, like saying I'm going to do something and doing it. But a woman who's able to do that even when she's feeling differently, that's a high character, because women generally they go with their feelings. They don't care too much about honor, women.
Cool. Right. Last thing, you talked about roles here, but what is the most important tips or the biggest mistakes guys do? Do you have some clear
I'll tell you
stuff
if you
on
tell me what 686 means.
It's me in the middle, and it's two girls there. That's a new 69.
Hey, pretty cool and inventive.
It actually is a snowboard brand.
Snowboard brand.
Yeah,
Cool.
I do snowboarding.
In Norway.
Yeah,
Cool.
a lot of it. You should come.
I'm gonna come to this thing. Organize this come. So, what are tips for guys?
Yeah, I just want some, quick.
There's some quick ones to your guys out there. There's a lot of logistic tips, but in terms of, like, technical stuff, and you could list that for hours. I've done that on my products, which is helpful, but that's only, like, I'll give you an analogy. It's like battle. The guy who did you see 300, that movie?
Yep.
Okay, that's about heart. The guy goes in, and they refuse to give up. They're going to win. Then you need that first, and then you can teach a guy later, like you hold the sword like that, and you lift the shield a few centimeters higher or lower. These are technical things, but a lot of guys in the pickup community, they master the technical things, but they don't have the heart yet. They're not, I was just talking to a guy, they're not horny enough, basically.
Yeah.
The reason I chase girls is because I'm horny.
They don't love girls.
They don't love girls. I mean, I love to see a nice ass and the pussy and, like, and the fuck. I love that. I feel so connected. I mean, so if you have that, then you can learn all the details. But I think a lot of guys do this as a hobby or to be cool, but they're not really lustful. So if you don't have the lust, it's hard. You're going to layer all this scaffolding on, but the core, the heart is missing. So I'd much rather take a guy who's an idiot but has who's a horny, and teach him instead of touching her pussy, you put her hand on your dick first, or whatever it is. Teach a technical thing, and then he'll be fine. You gotta. I would say guys who are horny and know it should learn some tips, and other guys they play this like a hobby, like Dungeons and Dragons or something. I don't think it's gonna be that helpful. It's entertaining, but they're not really gonna fuck more girls. So it's fucking cold out here. That's right.
I know.
So what? We're good.
We're good.
All right,
Success.
yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Oh, yeah, definitely.